Right, so in today's video, what I'm going to do is give you a bit of an update as to how all of my lawns are looking, because we've got the good, we've got the okay, and we definitely have the ugly as well. And I want to start out here with the front lawn. So if anyone's been on this channel for a while, they'll know that we renovated this space back in May this year. So we killed off the existing grass and we replaced it with a bent fescue mix, and as you can tell just from the angle here, the lawn is looking absolutely amazing. We've got a really nice density knocking about. We did have a little bit of disease and some of the spaces have a tiny bit of yellowing in still, but we sprayed it with iron, and that iron's kind of dehydrated the leaf to an extent and sort of prevented that disease from spreading any further. But as I always say, the test of a quality lawn is to get in right over the top, and if we do that on this lawn, you can just see it's looking as good as what it did in the summer. And even if we get round to this side, I mean, there's a few spaces where we had some worm casts, but nothing major. Again, just getting in right over the top. No matter where you go on the lawn, the density is looking class. We've got no broadleaf weeds in here, which is amazing. A lovely colour, and I think this is testament to the fact that the most important thing for your grass isn't really what you feed it, but it's the sun. It's being in the sun all day. If your lawn has pretty much full sun from sort of late morning to sort of early evening, then these are the kinds of results you're going to sort of expect to get. If you come out and cut every month throughout the summer, then you are going to get weeds, but it shows you that with really very little work to be quite honest, once it was established. Really, it's the regular cutting of the grass that kind of keeps the weeds at bay, because this grass type reproduces on its own and helps to fight that competition. So yeah, out at the front, it's looking absolutely amazing. I was a little bit concerned when we swapped to bent fescue, because I thought, what if it doesn't look as good as what the ryegrass did? Because ryegrass looked amazing out here. You know, one seed's one plant and they can die off and you have to replace them, but it very rarely died off at the front because the conditions are boss, even though we've got clay soil. So again, that sort of shows you that, you know, there's poor drainage on this soil, and the soil type isn't really the best, you'd say, for growing grass, but just for the simple fact that it sits in the sun means that it looks as amazing as it does today. So that's the good. Let's get into the back garden. Let's have a look at the okay. Right, here we are. This is what I'd call the okay then, this lawn. It's not looking too bad. Now, I'd have to say that when the angle is really low, I think I mentioned this on a previous video recently, most lawns look okay, most lawns look flawless. Like if you were to take your dog out for a walk, or just walk if you don't have a dog, and kind of stand on a field and just look out, it looks flawless, but it's only when you get in over the top where you really see any of the imperfections. So from a distance, it looks pretty decent, but again, that true test of a quality lawn, we're getting in over the top. It looks okay. Now, it's not as good as the front. You can see we've got a nice density there. It's not as dense as the front lawn. What's that? That's some sort of seed fella intruding. Don't know, get rid of him. It's not as dense as the front. It's close, but we do have a few more worm casts, so you can see where we've got some of these spots knocking about where I've squished some of those worm casts and they've kind of smothered the existing grasses. This side is looking a little bit ropey, but I think that's possibly from where I've been turning with the lawnmower, because up until, I don't know, only a few weeks ago, I was still using the Allet, and that's like a 40 odd kilo double roller mower, and even that's got like a split roller on the back. When it gets really wet, it does kind of damage the grass to an extent. I mean, any lawnmower is going to damage the grass to an extent, so that side's always going to be quite ropey, but I mean, the rest of it, I wouldn't say is too bad. It's not going to win any prizes. It's not the best lawn on the planet, but that's the reason why. You know, compare this to the front lawn, which is sat in full sun now. That's what we're getting on this lawn. This little side here is getting like a slither of sunlight, and once that goes, which will be pretty soon, this lawn's not going to see any sun until around about March time. So we've looked at the good, we've looked at the okay. It's not doing too bad. Happy with that this year. Now let's look at the awful. And I say this is awful, and I said it was awful last year, but it's just, yeah, it's very, very disheartening. Now, let's talk about the state that it's in. Some of you looking at this now thinking, my geez Louise on this planet, it's the worst lawn that I've ever seen in my entire life. And okay, let's do the quality test first. Right, and over the top, that is terrible. Now, there's a few spaces, okay, that's not bad. bit of density there. There's a bit of density if you come over this side here. It's a bit of density, but all these things here, they aren't patches in the lawn, again, like what we said down at the bottom, the worm casts, and for some reason, this lawn suffered with worm casts a little bit more this year compared to the one down at the bottom, and I'm not 100% sure why that is. At the end of the day, nature's nature, and it'll do whatever it wants, and whether it's to do with the amount of moisture we've got in the soil and it's making the worms go a little bit mental, I'm not too sure. We put some liquid iron down recently, so that should hopefully slow the movements of those worms a little bit, because they're not a massive fan of acidic soils, and that iron will make the soil more acidic. But again, it's not like you put it down and bang, you've got the most acidic soil on the planet. It is going to take a little bit of time and multiple applications for it to be the case, but I don't want to over apply iron because I don't want to stress it out too much. We actually had this as a putting green about two and a half months ago, and it was cut down at 5mm and looked incredible. Literally, we were like rolling a golf ball over it, and yeah, it wasn't like what you'd see on PJ Tour or nothing like that. You can see how thin it is. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, it's a disaster then if this sort of lawn kind of means that the name novice gardener is justified. Yeah, to an extent, this kind of proves that I'm not an expert. However, this is not really to do with anything that I've done wrong necessarily. The soil that we've got here is really heavy clay, and even though we've done a small soil exchange in the past, but we've probably replaced around about anywhere from 2 to 5% of the soil, so not a lot of sand's gone onto it. And we've levelled it a few times where we've got on with some nice topsoil, but you're talking the best part of maybe ½ an inch to an inch that we've ever really put down on this lawn. The rest of it is quite heavy clay. The problem with clay is that when you get to the winter, it's almost like a sponge, like it absorbs all that water and sort of holds onto it, and then the roots have to sit in that, and then that causes plants to die off and plants to struggle. This lawn looked a million times worse than this last year by the time we got to like February time, and it was to the point where like me and the wife had been to a garden centre and we looked at getting like a big massive greenhouse, like a big monster fella, and we were planning on putting this big greenhouse right in this space and putting some plants around it because the grass had died off. And I thought, oh Fred, get in the way of the camera, mate. I thought, I don't want to have to keep reseeding it year in, year out, because it was kind of proving to me that this space just isn't really hospitable for grass to survive. However, we got to March and April and through May, and we just cut it regularly, gave it a feed of true grass and a little bit of Integral Max, and the thing just thickened up like you wouldn't believe. And we didn't put any seed down, it's not had any renovation work done to it, and it became incredible, like beyond what I thought it could possibly be. So I know now that if this lawn struggles through winter and we get to sort of February, March time next year and it's looking horrendous, all I've got to do is feed it. All I've got to do is cut it. I don't have to go out and panic, renovate. I left it longer last year because the lawn was cut longer last year, and the reason I've kept it this short is because I've obviously cut it so short this year, but maybe that's to its detriment. Or maybe it looks worse this year because it is shorter and it's exposing those worm casts a little bit more. I mean, it's all a variable, and I think we give ourselves too much credit at times for how good our lawns look, and we put too much blame onto ourselves at times for how bad the lawn looks. All we've got to do is continue to ask ourselves, why have things gone wrong? And if they do go wrong, what are you doing to rectify it? What are you doing to fix the problem? Because if you're having to renovate every spring and every autumn, it can be a nice process to do, but you don't have to do everything every single time. And if your lawn's dying off over the winter, you've got to ask yourself the question, why? Not every lawn's the same. The soil types are different, the grass types are different, they drain differently, they get a different amount of sun. There's so much that goes into it. So if your lawns are looking better than mine, that's amazing. You've probably done the right things and you've probably got the right conditions for the grass type you have. If your lawn's looking worse than mine, and I know there's some people out there in positions where they think, oh, my lawn isn't looking as good as what their content creators is online, then I've looked at that top lawn and think yours can't really be much worse than that. And even if it is, it's just about getting to next year and adapting what you do, tweaking your practice, and that's part of the process of learning how to manage your lawn effectively. There is not a product out there that's going to solve all your problems. There's not like a thing that you can buy that's going to mean that you're going to suddenly become an expert at lawn care. It's just about trying things, getting it wrong, and when it does go wrong, kind of just laughing it off and shrugging it off and going, do you know what, let's tweak something. What maybe happened that made the grass die off? My lawns in the back garden died pretty much almost fully over the course of 2 years, twice. I had to kind of start from scratch, and it was only the third time where I got it right, and that was just through trial and error, trying different advice from different people until figuring out the formula that really less is more, and you kind of have nature to thank for how good your lawn's looking, because this lawn here, that's not me, that's the sun. It's nature doing its thing. Yeah, I'm the one cutting it and I'm sort of helping it to thicken up, but really that's all I can kind of give myself credit for. When we apply products, all we're doing is supplementing it with, or giving it more of what nature would give it anyway. But if nature's already given it enough of what it needs, then happy days. So if you have enjoyed today's video, feel free to give it a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing. I'm going to be posting more updates like this as we go through winter, because the lawn's only going to be getting worse, and we're only going to be more and more honest on this channel. And then when we get to spring, no matter what condition your lawn's in, we're going to kind of go step by step in terms of taking good lawns and making them into boss lawns, taking okay lawns, turning them into boss lawns, and taking really, really poor lawns, or awful lawns as I called it before, and turning them into boss lawns too. So yeah, that takes your fancy. Subscribe, check out some of my other content, and finally, thanks for watching.